What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. It's your boy Chris Stonadge, once again joined by Monsieur Paddy Murphy. I've got a little cheeky different setup now. I've actually got the green screen, I've got a new microphone, all looking pretty bougie for the Anfield Agenda audience, eh, Paddy?
It's looking good. I've had a little bit of delivery today, but not quite enough to join you just yet. But in due course, we'll all be looking smashing up there with that green screen in behind.
Oh, it's gonna be magnificent, mate. It really, really is. But yeah, there's gonna be lots of transfer news to talk through today, as well as people actually joining clubs. That's great. Maybe not Liverpool, but other clubs, former Liverpool players. No hint. But first of all, Paddy,
Yeah.
we have to hear from our sponsors, Manscaped, mate.
Indeed. Manscaped, where you can get the Performance Package 4.0 brand new. It's just launched in Europe, including the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 with the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer with a crop preserver ball deodorant, which, as Chris said yesterday, is one of my personal favorites. You also get a crop reviver toner, boxer briefs, and a travel bag. Absolutely tremendous value. And don't forget, they have their 4th generation trimmer, which features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also includes a 7,000 RPM motor and an on and off switch, which can engage a travel lock. And nevertheless, do not forget a 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shade, which I can vouch for because, I've tried to do it in the dark before without previous Manscaped products, but now with Manscaped, no danger. It's also waterproof, and you can use the code WFM20 for 20% off at Manscaped with free shipping on absolutely anything on their website. And don't forget, Chris, your balls will.
Thank you. They certainly will.
And thank you.
And they potentially we do hope the Craig hopes to be on time, but will it work on my chin? Potentially, but it's more preferable for the downstairs area, I think. the nice ball toner. Keep those balls nice and fresh. That's what we love to do. That's exactly what we like to see. Manchester City are playing Swindon currently. Did you see any of the goals, Paddy? Because I saw the first one. It was a bit catastrophic.
I didn't even realize they were playing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Swindon was playing out from the back and decided to just boot it to a City player. Just
the stats don't look too promising for Swindon, naturally.
What's their team like, actually? What's Man City's team like?
Are they playing strong? They're strong. They're full strength, honestly. They're bar Palmer and Ake centre back, they're full strength.
It's really weird behaviour.
Yeah,
Zach Steffen, Walker, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo, Gundogan, Hernandez. Who's that? Rodri, and De Bruyne with Jesus, Silva, and Palmer. That's such a strong team, to be fair. Massive thanks to Chaos Jokers, who's become a YouTube member. You can become a YouTube member and get access to the Anfield Agenda Discord, amongst many other amazing perks. So that's what we love to see. Yeah, well, we decided to vary it up today. I read it yesterday, so Paddy had to do it. Neither of us are anywhere near as good as Craig at reading that ad read.
Craig's got it down, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He's just brilliant. He just does it so easily. It's all good vibes today, Paddy. But talking of good vibes, we spoke about Coutinho yesterday, and conceptually whether it would happen. It's happened, fella. What's your reaction? What do you think Villa fans will be thinking right now?
Well, my initial reaction is jealousy. I'm jealous that it's them and not us. It was never going to be us, but that's just me being fanciful. Villa fans should be, and I think are rightfully excited. Felipe Coutinho, even though he's had a bad time in Barcelona, he's still a world-class footballer, whatever you want to say. He's going to thrive. I think it's basically risk-free. They're paying about 65% of his wages, but given today's market, that's really nothing to them. They're literally trialing a player for 6 months, and if he's good enough, they're going to sign him. So it's interesting, and it's interesting the Stevie G story with it as well. It just shows the pull of Steven Gerrard, because Coutinho would never have stepped foot in Villa Park if not for Gerrard. No disrespect to them, but I imagine he would have went somewhere slightly more glamorous. But Villa fans should be and are excited, I would imagine. They've sold Grealish for 100 million, and they've upgraded on him, I would say. With Coutinho, I think he's a better footballer, especially right now.
Controversial opinion, I would say.
Grealish can't tie Coutinho's boots. Let's be honest.
Oh wow, Man City fans! If there's any of you in the chat, get your opinions in. Is Grealish better or not than Felipe Coutinho? But moving on, Paddy, into other Liverpudlian dealings, because we are Anfield agenda, we're not Aston Villa agenda. We'll go on to Arnaut Danjuma now. Let me just get this up here because I don't want to mess up the wording of this. David Ornstein, in his transfer pack for the Athletic, said that it's believed that Danjuma is being monitored by Liverpool and other top European sides. His deal at Villarreal contains a 75 million euro release clause, which could be activated at any time. Now, that to me is a little bit frustrating, Paddy, because we could have got him in the summer for remarkably cheaper than 75 million euros.
I'm going to start calling Liverpool's scouting department or transfer team monitoring merchants. We're always monitoring players. And yeah, it's another case of you could have took the plunge on him when he left Bournemouth. But then again, we probably couldn't afford him the game time he's getting at Villarreal. So it's just when you're a big club and you have such a good team, you kind of have to pay the price, quite literally. I think 75 million for him right now is still a bit over the odds. You know, it would be a lot, but again, I would love to see it. I think he's decent. Coutinho has been crap for years, but as I said, I was good at Bayern though. You know, I think if in a fresh setting where he's the main man, could really rejuvenate him, and I kind of hope it does. But anyway, yeah, I think Danjuma is a good shout. But yeah, it's another case of we didn't pull the trigger at the right time, and it's cost us about 50 million.
Yeah, I think you made a good point really with the playing time issue, because as you say, yes, he scored 15 goals in the Championship for Bournemouth last season, but a lot of people would have been saying, why are we signing a player from the Championship? You know, and he's gone to Villarreal, and he's proven that he's not a Championship player whatsoever. He's a player with potential to be a top European talent. The thing is, for me, I think 75 million euros is extremely steep. I don't know what that is in pounds, about 68 million, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the euros translation as well as you two do, but I know that I know that it's around that figure, and I genuinely think we could get Luis Diaz or Jared Bowen a lot cheaper than that, and potentially Rafinha as well, all of which I think would be slightly better options.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I feel like I might prefer Danjuma over Bowen just for the exotic nature of it, and that's me being typical. Although I do think Bowen would be a more foolproof option. I think he'd come in and instantly impact. You know, Luis Diaz, I've kind of keep warming to him. I keep looking at clips of him more and more, and I just feel he'd be perfect. But again, we're going to be talking. We're going to how many shows we're going to do in January talking about transfer rumors, and not one of them is going to come true. It's just. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm sick of it at this stage.
Well, it's all conceptual situation streams rather than transfer streams.
Unfortunately,
you know, would we take them rather than will we take them? You know,
yeah, exactly.
It's just, you know, it's an impossible one to speak about. We've got lots of great comments in. Get all your comments into me and Paddy. We'll try and read as many of them as we can. But yeah, Jared Bowen would be like a Jota. I'd say they're pretty similar profiles. To what if when Bowen potentially arrives at Liverpool, to when Jota did arrive at Liverpool, I think possibly Bowen would be ahead of Jota in that sort of race as when Jota came to Liverpool to when Bowen could arrive at Liverpool. Paddy, do you think that would be the case?
Yeah, I think on like when Jota signed, I think we didn't expect much from him. We knew a lot about him, seeing him at Wolves, but we never expected him to be as good as he has been. I think it's just an example of exceptional scouting and business by Liverpool to have identified someone that would fit in so perfectly. And I'd imagine Bowen will have a similar impact. You know, obviously he's not going to dislodge Salah, but as you said, he can play kind of anywhere, really, can't he? And he provides us with a bit of a je ne sais quoi at the set piece position, which we kind of already have, but you know, it could take a bit of the burden off Trent and stuff like that, and could open up a lot of things. You know, Bowen, I think I wouldn't be mad about Bowen. I mean, I wasn't like, particularly keen on him when it first announced. But the more you look at it, if you look at the stats and the XG and all these different things, I just think he's like, why not? He will cost a pretty penny, but, you know, it's a homegrown slot. It frees up positions. It's just a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, I mean, and this is coming from a man who said he would take Todd Cantwell yesterday. So I think he would take pretty much anyone, to be honest with you.
Yeah, literally anyone, literally.
Just gagging for a signing, gagging for a social media announcement. I mean, talking of social media announcements, I mean, I'm not going to profess to be the greatest graphic designer in the world, but for possibly Aston Villa's biggest signing in their recent history, did you see that graphic, fella? It was
Yeah.
bad.
My
It was bad.
yeah, my friends are graphic designers, and they literally couldn't get over how bad it was. They said that they literally could have just taken the edit off Insta and it would look better. It was really, really bad, which is hilarious. Like, it's just obviously some clubs just don't get it with social media. Like, there's probably still a bit of old school nature with some clubs where they just don't commit fully to social media. It was grim.
It's weird because you look at the rest of their account and it's not as bad as that, but that was just terrible. It's awful.
Oh, weak,
it looks like Microsoft Paint. Like, come on.
I know. It's great. On the Coutinho thing though, he's running. I think he's due into the country in 48 hours.
Yeah,
but they have a
back. One right.
Yeah, they have a back-to-back double header against Man United. Can you imagine? They get Coutinho in on time and he plays a key role in beating them in both games.
They're also playing Everton right after that.
Oh, well, Everton they'll beat Everton, but I reckon they could easily beat United both games. Can you imagine Coutinho plays a starring role? He scores the winner in the FA Cup and celebrates with Gerrard. Oh man, it'd be like watching Liverpool. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how far do you think Aston Villa will go now with obviously Coutinho in to bolster their attack and potentially, I think they're signing a couple of others like Aaron Hickey from Bologna, potentially going into there. So, where do you think is the ceiling for Steven Gerrard this season?
Genuinely, I can see them fighting for 7th and 8th for sure. I know they lost to Brentford. That was kind of his first properly bad result. Up until then, he's only lost to us in City.
They were all over Brentford, by the way. They absolutely battered Brentford.
Yeah, so I don't think like Villa fans or anyone's they're going to read too much into that. I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be challenging for Europe, and there's a chance they could get into it this year. And if he could get into it this season, I think that would really help him with his plan that he'd have, his 2-year, 3-year plan. Would really accelerate that process if they can get him into Europe. But then again, Europe could hinder a possible league campaign next year. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to miss out on Europe, and they could really focus on the league and then get a good European position.
I think whatever happens this season, they've massively improved under Gerrard, and they will continue to improve. I mean, it's just the way that he spoke about Coutinho and it happened the next day. He was refusing to be wavered, wasn't he? He just makes you so happy, doesn't it?
You could tell by his comments though it was gas because I think he pulled out a stat of how many games he's played for Brazil, and so it was like you're obviously he's obviously looking intently. Gerrard definitely wouldn't have had that to hand, so I kind of knew it was going to happen. It is really a fantastic signing. I know people have their doubts about Coutinho and if he can still do it. I think he will. I think he's going to slot. He's only 29. You don't just lose that. Like as Gerrard said, you don't get called the little magician for nothing. I don't see him losing that.
Yeah, we're Anfield and Villa agenda because Villa are our second team now. I'm shameless. I don't care.
It's kind of funny if people just tuned in. It's definitely like a Villa agenda right now. But alas, we digress.
Absolutely. Moving on. Oh, and my camera has died. Happy days.
Lovely.
It's got to that time of day, fellas. It's sort of like on bingo. There we go. You have to put me like that now. I have to move this down. I'm massive now. Wait a second. I have to change my camera. But Paddy, moving on. Wait a second. This is really derailed everything I've done now. Happy days.
Craig.
Get Craig back. Sack Chris now. Sack him now. Paddy. Moving on from Coutinho, Aurélien Tchouaméni, I believe is his pronunciation. David Ornstein dropped that in his stat pack, in his transfer pack, I think it was today. Him or Bellingham? That's my question to you.
Oh, Bellingham. Now, Tchouaméni, I've heard a bit of him, seen a bit of him, but no, Bellingham is my bum fiddle. Craig has infected me with his choo-choo. It's got to be Bellingham. I just think he's destined for Anfield, to be honest. And I feel like maybe we're due a big boy signing. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a no-brainer, Bellingham. But I wouldn't mind both of them. Why not? Just get them both.
This is
But
shocking form from me, by the way. I am, for those of you just tuning in, I am changing my camera battery, so you can still see me in glorious HD. But at the moment, I'm rocking my webcam.
You're just trying to fill up the hour. I see right through you. No, but no, Bellingham. I think he's a perfect club player. He's a perfect, and his idol is. Oh yes,
there we go.
Yeah, and Bellingham's idol is Gerrard. So let's not forget like the pulling power of Gerrard that could have when he possibly comes to Liverpool. Yeah, no, Bellingham though for me. I don't know how much it'll cost by the time we sign him, but he's worth every penny.
Craig is a consummate professional. Craig would never let his camera die. Shocking form. Craig is currently lavishing it up in Lanzarote, so big up to him. I hope he's having the time of his life. The man deserves a day off, a week off, a year off. What Laurel and Hardy look-alike thing? Do we look alike each other? I'd say, on a good day.
I just know one's fat and one's small, so it makes sense on that sense.
Oh, fuck.
Boy. Yeah, boy.
Oh my god! But yeah, Tchouaméni. I mean, the fee would probably be astronomical. If we're talking,
it'd be too many money.
I think we just have to remove him from this.
Honestly, I think that was good.
That was terrible, fella. But I mean, apparently Manchester United would be interested as well. There's a no-brainer choice between Liverpool and Man United, but if it comes down to money, Paddy, it might be something a little bit different.
I just find it, man, like no aspiring footballer chooses Man United over Liverpool these days. Like the days of United having that pulling power is gone.
People thought maybe Jadon Sancho did.
Well, I hope that's working out for him. Hayden Pancho. Can you imagine him at Liverpool? He would have been quality, wouldn't he? He's like a Bowen on steroids.
Pretty much. And 5 years younger.
Yeah. And a lot more expensive, but geez, Jaden, were we in for him, yeah?
Apparently.
Well, we're in for everyone, it seems, until it's actually time to pay. Then it's like, oh, no, we're only joking. We're only flirting with the idea. Yeah.
I mean, that is probably one of the worst spellings I've ever seen of Mönchengladbach in my life. I know it's just...
If in doubt, sound it out.
Absolutely. And I saw you commented earlier that apparently some scouts are coming to look at you. Best of luck with that one if it is true. If it's not, you've sold me, you've done me in. But Chelsea want Bellingham as well. How much do you think, Paddy, in terms of the comparison of prices, how much more would Bellingham be than Tchouaméni, if more at all?
At least 25 million more.
Yeah.
I think Tchouaméni be like 75, Bellingham 100. I think Bellingham could go up as much as 125, given his age. His age is, I think we forget how young he is and how good he is, and his ceiling is just like astronomical. So he's going to be commanding a dirty fee, and when it's Dortmund as well, like, they don't get pushed around. They're used to people coming in and effing them over, so they're going to be ready and they're going to demand this money or he doesn't get sold. It's as simple as that.
Comment here. What about Neuhas? Well, he's currently warming the Borussia Mönchengladbach bench. At the moment, he hasn't got in at all this year. So
he's playing right now.
He is playing right now, but he has not been. He's not been very regular in the side. So I'd be a little bit more hesitant on that one if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, moving swiftly on. Divock Origi, according to James Pierce, wait right there, his contract expires this summer, but there's a clause in his current deal for an extra year, which will be triggered if he makes a certain number of appearances. So it's not what we were led to believe yesterday in terms of starts in the league. It's a certain number of appearances. Origi has played 10 times in all comps this season, but has only made 4 starts, as per James Pierce. Senior Anfield sources have dismissed suggestions that an offer of around 7 million would be enough to secure Origi's services. They insist it would be take something significantly higher for a deal to even be considered. Now, is that a negotiating tactic, or is that is it more truth?
I think that's fair. Like, I think we forget how inflated this market is. 7 million for Origi is disgraceful. I think you're looking at 20 million, 15 to 20 million easily.
Even
minimum
with his contract
15.
out in 6 months.
Yeah, contract. He has the option for the extra year. We'll just trigger that, and then I reckon that's. I feel like that 15 start thing is bollocks, and I think you confirmed it is. So let's hope they can trigger that. I think it's an automatic thing, and then we just command more from. I don't want to get rid of him though, like because unless we bring someone in, and I don't think we will. So I don't even want to entertain the idea until the summer because we need him in this current period, even though he's not quite fit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we still don't know like the story on his fitness. I know he's not in training. Minamino is, but well, when the training grounds open, it might give him a chance now to recover. But I saw a couple of questions. Do we think Liverpool will play against Shrewsbury? Well, they have to, or they forfeit the game. So it's going to be our under 18s, I think, plus potentially featuring Allison, Matip, and Firmino if they return 2 negative lateral flow tests. It all seemed a little bit convoluted, Paddy, and a little bit crammed in. I don't know how we're going to be able to really put out a respectable side, but I don't know, mate. If Allison, Firmino, and Matip all turned out to be able to play, would you play them, or would you still remain to rest them?
I'd play them. Listen. I want to, given, well, in my opinion, the league being over. I'm just going to be pedantic. I think it puts a lot more impetus on other competitions. But on that note of like all this disarray of the COVID test, for me, I think the season should be shut down for 2 weeks to let everyone catch up again. Let the you know what I mean, put people in bubbles. I think that needs to be done. I think Maurizio Sarri came out and said something interesting. He said, you either stop us playing or you relegate the COVID to a common cold sort of thing. So either you like pause the season or just get on with it. Just play on, and if someone has COVID, so be it, let them play. But that's obviously a crazy idea considering what we've done to try and stem it. But no, I just think stop the season for 2 weeks. I think it's too late now. It should have been done like at the start of January. I wouldn't have wanted the fixture to be affected up until then, but it just seems it's going to be a constant thing otherwise, especially in winter.
Yeah. I mean, I do a podcast about one of my local teams, Hereford FC, and we spoke about in the 6th tier. They actually played more games in the summer months, so in preparation for the winter months where the flu would be, and the flu season and the cold season, and now the COVID season. Oh, hello! Hello! And now the COVID season would. They'd be prepared for postponements. The Premier League didn't do that. They still proceeded with the international breaks, the rest. I think, instead of waiting till December to have this busy period of fixtures, why did they not just do it in September and August, and maybe even start the season early? Because now, I'll speak about it more later, but we've got the Qatar World Cup, which we are taking a 3-month break for at the end of the year. Like, mate, it's just so poorly planned.
Yeah, I don't know how they find the time, but it's okay. Like I just don't get it. Like I feel like Jurgen Klopp here, but there should be a winter break in the Premier League. It's all, you know what I mean. It just makes sense.
Is technically a little.
Well, like it should be a German style winter break, and other leagues. I don't get why the Premier League don't do it. For player welfare, but even more now these days to just stop the bloody spread of COVID amongst the league, because once it gets in, it's kind of like inevitable that it's going to look what happened. Liverpool started off with a couple of cases, and now the whole bloody training ground was closed down. You have a winter break in these times. You test everyone before they come back, and they don't let them come back until they test. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It baffles me. Like all the money and all the resources they have, and they don't have the common sense to kind of recognize that. But again, as we've discussed before, the higher ups only care about the money and that the details. They don't care about the actual feelings of people.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, big up. Ahead of England in the World Test Championships, by the way, for those of you who like cricket. Big up. I don't think so, bro. I didn't have you down as a cricketer, man.
Well, England's best cricketer is Irish, so Owen Morgan.
Best limited overs cricketer, yeah. I would go along.
I'm
with
not
that.
even going to pretend I know what that means. It's one of the few sports where like Irishmen can actually be like, they England robbed them, right? You don't see, you know what I mean? It doesn't happen in other sports.
Yeah, I mean, listen, right?
England love their robbing players. Like England,
do.
Look at England starting lineups in football. I just seen a video. If only English-born players played for England, we used to be shite.
It's true. It's the same with cricket. I mean, they nab players from South Africa and Australia and New Zealand and all them.
You got to do what you got to do, I suppose.
Absolutely. It's the same for everyone else, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely no, Nave. I can't believe you're on this.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my brother is giving me a FaceTime call for some reason. I'm just gonna have to swiftly reject you, Rob. I will send it. My girlfriend's gonna answer it for me. There you go. That's what you need in this world. But yeah, what are everyone else's favorite other sports? Let us know in the comment section. Paddy, what's your like go-to non-football sport? Bit of darts.
Bit of darts. Darts is 10 out of 10. It cannot be beaten. Darts is incredible. Now people say, "Oh, this is a sport." Yes, it's a sport.
It is a sport.
We do love a bit of darts. It's quality. Maybe athlete, not a lot of athletes in darts, but yeah, I love anything that Ireland are. I'll watch as well. Like I watch Irish international rugby, but I wouldn't watch like provincial rugby or like the clubs.
It's just a bit dead, man. It's just a bit dead. F1. What are your thoughts on F1?
Never really was big into it. However, I kind of got into it at the tail end of this latest season. Max, super, Max, super, Max. But yeah, it's really
half the people in the comments.
I know. Yeah. F1 is one of them where I'm going to rattle them even more now. It's like I don't get it. It's like whoever has the best car tends to win, right? Most of the time.
Pretty much, it's like football. In football, whoever has the best players wins. Usually.
Yeah, maybe it's okay. Okay, fair.
You
can have individual brilliance in football that can go against the grain, whereas the best cars tend to statistically always do better.
Yeah.
And again, it could be down. You could have errors in F1 too, I suppose.
Absolutely. What do you think about Kieran Trippier's transfer to Newcastle, Paddy? I think it's a hell of a signing for them.
Great signing for them. And fun fact, him being 84 on FIFA, he is their joint highest ever FIFA card alongside Michael Owen in 2007. So there you go. But I do think that's trivia for you. I think it's a great signing for them. It's a no-brainer. People are giving him a lot of shit saying it's for money and stuff. But it's like he's been in Spain. He's conquered Spain. He's won the league. He's already been at a top level English club. He wants a challenge. He wants to go and keep Newcastle up, and he knows how much the fans would adore him if they do that. And it's an exciting project to go to Newcastle. And I literally don't think it is about the money. It's because it's not like he's going to be on astronomically more than he was on Adetti. So I think it's a good signing for them. It's a fair play to him. It's a ballsy move because now he's banking on them staying up, because I don't imagine he'll fancy spending his latter years in the Championship. So it incentivizes the whole team to do that,
My brother is now on a call. There you go. Say hi to my brother, guys, in the comments.
Hello.
He's exactly that. All right, I'm gonna let him go and pass him back to my missus. I can't let him steal my thunder. But yeah, I think the interesting thing with Trippier is the fact that Atletico Madrid did not want to let him go. They were really desperate to keep him, and the fact that Newcastle managed to prize him away, I think it says a lot about the passion behind the project there. But I don't know. I still don't think Simeone to Eddie Howe is an upgrade.
Yeah, like Simeone, is obviously a bit of a better manager, but Eddie Howe is an exciting project. As I've seen clips of him in training grounds and stuff for Bournemouth and Newcastle, and he knows what he's at. Like, I really want to know what his assistant does, because his assistant is like co-manager. It's such a strange dynamic, him on the sideline with him. It's like I'd love to know his actual day to day.
Jason Tyndall. Yeah. Is he the one who wears the hoodie? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I guess because Eddie Howe was meant to go to Celtic, but they couldn't agree a deal for the assistant, and it was nearly going to cause the Newcastle job to get fallen through as well. But for Trippier, it's like he's done it in England-ish. He got to the Champions League final with Spurs. He went to Atleti, won the league, and it doesn't look like they're going to win the league this year. So I think he got out at a good time, and he wants to come back to England. He said it's for his family as well. So I don't really blame him. Fair play to him, and hopefully, I really do hope Newcastle stay up. Then again, I don't know.
For me, it would be astronomically funny if the richest club in the world got relegated.
Them
I'm not gonna
having
lie.
yes, that money in the Championship would be quite funny because they couldn't really do it as they couldn't in the Premier League, right? It changes the whole dynamic, right, in terms of what they can spend in the
Yeah.
Championship. Yeah,
I mean, they'll have parachute payments, which I don't think they need. But
no,
like, it's a very different game to try and sports wash now than it used to be. You know?
well, yeah. Look at sports. Look at Man City. They announced a brand new global partnership with the I don't know the name of the company, but the leader of the company they announced the partnership with is the sister of Nasser El Khalifi, or sorry, that's it. But he's basically a sister of one of the main City guys. So it's
So
like
yeah,
it's such fucking
they
fraudulent.
know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
It's so corrupt. It's not even funny.
Yeah, do you see this? Look at this corruption. It's. I can't. I don't. I can't. We can't be having this.
Cap.
That is pure cap. Have you seen Craig Holden? I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Craig, get on here, save us.
Yeah, Connor's a fresh looking man, in my humble opinion as well. You know, we have to admire everyone. You know, Steve, beautiful bald head. Kyle, I know, beautiful American voice. You know, this is what we're saying. We have to spread this positivity. You know, everyone's beautiful in their own way. Eh, Paddy?
Spread love, not hate.
Exactly. Talking, I saw a couple of comments. Do you think Nat Phillips would be a potentially good signing for Newcastle United? Because I can't see them being the club that put in that £7 million bid purely because I think they bid more than that.
I feel like, but Newcastle kind of have competence in the box. They have Fabian Schär, Jamal Lascelles, who is their captain. I don't think as Nat is. I think we rate Nat, but from Newcastle, I feel like they're going to be looking at someone a bit more exotic. So I don't think it was them with the 7 million. I think Nat is destined for a possible Burnley or a West Ham. Although I hope he doesn't go to Burnley because again, I don't want him playing Championship football, even though he probably would be the best defender in the Championship. But yeah, I don't think it was Newcastle because, as you said, I reckon Newcastle would have just paid over the odds to get the job done. You know.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, this is a controversial one. This is a very controversial one. I can't be having this, Mick.
That's a tough one. Yeah. If I would do it for the sake of you get more money for Gomez, so from a profitable POV, I would be all over. I wouldn't really care. Gomez isn't going to start anyway, you know.
Paddy Murphy's FSG and.
Oh, but yeah.
Paddy loves John Henry, bro.
It's all about the profit margin.
Paddy wants John Henry to get a new yacht. That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, no, but it's like Gomez. Neither of them are going to play anyway. So sell the one that's going to get you more money, you know.
I suppose, yeah. Players out of contract, Paddy. I mean, 2023, we are seeing 5 Liverpool players currently out of contract. We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, Mane, Salah, Firmino. Out of those, how many stay?
Say again.
So there's Salah, Mane, Firmino, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain. Who stays?
3.
Keita,
Firmino, Salah.
So what do you then keep Mane and Ox for the season, or do you think they get sold in the summer? And if so, how much do you think you can get for them?
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I think they're going in the summer. I think one of the big boys, one of our main 3, are a traditional front 3. They're going to go. They can't keep them forever. You know, they have to think logically at this stage. And I think Mane is on the decline. So I think sell him before he reaches that full decline. And, you know, bring in the new left-sided player. Splurge the Mane money and put more money in. I reckon you get, I think 50 million for Mane.
Even with 1 year left on his contract?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Old.
Yeah, I just do. In today's market, yeah, the money is mad in football right now. I think 50 million for Mane is fair enough. You'll get a hungry team that'll pay that. Like, if they want him, they'll get him. 45 minimum, anything less is a bit of a farce, really. Ox, 10 million. 10 to 15 million. Reinvest that then. That's what I do. I'm sick of I think Mane's on the decline. I think I don't want to say finished, but he's finished in terms of being as good as he was. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think the Mane we have now is still, able to provide moments, but not consistently over a 38-game season. I just can't. I can't see him ever reaching his 2019 levels. Really, he was just
No.
he was undroppable, but now he's got no one to step in for him. Like, I don't know. I always ask this question to like people. I don't know. Is Diogo Jota a potential replacement for Mane on the wing, and then we look for a striker, or do you think Jota's main position is in the 9 role?
Jota has to be a 9 for sure. He's a killer in that box. I think he's our striker now. So I think we need I don't necessarily think Jota's fast enough either. He's not quite as fast as for a winger in my eyes. So no, Jota down the middle for sure, and then we get a new left-sided player, a Luis Diaz, a Arnaut Danjuma, a fucking whoever. But I think it's time to upgrade on Mane. It's time to invest in the youth, to sign a youthful player, 23 to 24. So yeah.
This is a comment that I absolutely love to see.
Up to Jamie, what a man.
Yeah, massive big up to all you guys in the comments. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you do so, because I don't know why you'd want to miss some of this great content. We've got Shrewsbury on Sunday.
Shrewsbury. I think Ed Hazard called them strawberry before.
Did they?
Strawberry.
Sorry, I've been completely put off by you there. So we got Shrewsbury on Sunday. In terms of first team players, how many do you think will play? Out of obviously we've got Alisson, Matip, Firmino potentially fit. And what do you think the prediction will be? How will Shrewsbury go? Because they might even pick up some COVID cases.
Well, I think the 3 you mentioned are the only ones that I've, I don't know the ins and outs of who's available and who's not. It's literally a guessing game at this point. We don't know who's tested positive. We don't know who has the vid. But I think, it'll only be those 3 really, and then under 18 sort of vibe. And I think we can still beat Strawberry with that. But, play as strong as we can get. Why not? Look at City. City are stat padding these cups, man. How many years in a row did they win the League Cup?
4 years in a row, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? So just go for these tournaments. And as I said, with the Premier League looking more and more likely going back to Man City, just prioritize these domestic competitions. Because I want to be able to say when Klopp leaves Liverpool that he won everything. He won every competition available to him at least once. And that will make up for maybe not winning that second Premier League title or not, So I want us to win everything. I'd love a treble this year. Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. Beautiful.
Mate.
And it's doable, by the way.
I think it is. I think you'd be foolish to say it isn't, but
with the Premier League, quite not. I think you have to kind of, in this day and age, you have to kind of choose between the Premier League or Champions League, because it's very rare you win both in one season.
When was the last time a team won the domestic? Bayern Munich.
Well, Bayern, yeah, but in terms of an English team, it was United. I think in 07, 08.
Yeah, I mean, just on this, Robbie is a Liverpool fan, 100%. Part of a big reason why I was, because do you want me to spill a bit of family history for you, Paddy?
Let's have it.
When I was 5 years old on FIFA 08. Okay, shout out to FIFA 08. I fancied. I loved playing with Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo on with Manchester United on FIFA 08, and I was like, should they
were quality though. Back to be fair though, it's as a kid you just picked the best team, and they were in those FIFAs they were unreal.
Yeah, and I was about to go to Anfield for the first time, and I was like, should I? And then my parents were like, yeah, we'll abandon you. So.
I think whenever I have children, they don't have to like football because it's a personal choice. But if they like football, they have to support Liverpool. There will be no negotiation, none of this. You can do what you want. No, you will support Liverpool, and that's the end of it. If you don't, fuck off.
Absolutely, and you know what? It's how it is. Big up.
Bayern did lose, by the way. Big up Mönchengladbach.
Did Mönchengladbach win?
Big up 2-1. Bosh, amazing.
This is where it was at, by the way. FIFA on the Wii.
FIFA on the Wii, underrated. Wii.
What were your favorite Wii games back in the day, mate?
I love the homegrown ones. Like
what? Wii Sports,
bowling and shit, like Wii Sports.
Oh,
yeah,
mate, Wii Sports, elite. Did you guys?
It's lit.
We Sports Resort, bit of Mario Galaxy in there.
I tell you, this is so funny. Today we've gone from Villa agenda, now we're Wii agenda. Now the Wii was unreal back in the day. I'm surprised I didn't like take out every mirror in my house when I was swinging the nunchuck around. But
mate, we used to do Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and we used to take it seriously and like literally play for like 4 hours. And like that was genuine exercise. I felt like I got quicker by like going like that with the Wii remote.
Yeah,
big time, insane, man, insane. So moving on, we'll get away from Wii agenda. We'll get on to some more stuff. Wait a second. So this is from James Pierce, I believe. Is it Pierce? Okay. Oh, it's a Cade Gordon thing from Pierce, I believe. Oh no, it's from the Mail. Privately in the inner sanctum of Anfield, many Liverpool Chiefs feel Cade Gordon will soon blaze a similar trail to fellow youngster Harvey Elliott. What are your feelings on this one, fella? Because it's gonna be. I'd love for him to blaze the same trail as Elliott, but it's a big expectation to put on a 16, 17-year-old kid again.
Yeah, it's like I like. Don't get me wrong. I like being able to blood in our own youngsters. I say our own. We signed them from Derby. You know what I mean? I like that, but I also like relying on them is dodgy at this high level. You know, it's like a lot of pressure to put on someone's shoulders, and there's no guarantee they'll take it until it ducks the water. On Elliott, though, it's like, God, man, I really wish he didn't get injured. He was going to be instrumental this year, wasn't he? So it is a bit tough, but you know. Cade Gordon, from the bits I've seen of him, he looks quite the player, doesn't he? But it's a lot of pressure to put on a young lad. Like it really is. Like, you know, when is that going to happen? And like, it's just like I like trusting youth, but I also don't like overdoing it. Like I'd rather like put money into like made players.
And I think that's one of the main things wrong with sort of mainstream journalism around Liverpool is that there's been a lot of pressure heaped on youngsters, which means that over enthuses in the expectation of fans. I mean, I think when Neco Williams came in into the first team, people were saying, you know, he's the natural heir, you know, he could displace Trent into midfield, you know, and I think that it's sort of overestimated how good he was. And yes, he's a great little player, but you don't need to be putting this pressure onto kids. I think it's the same with Harvey Elliott. You know, he's unbelievable. I genuinely think he will go on and be a mainstay of our team in the next decade. But that doesn't mean that you know we can expect a few, you know, bad performances from him, because it will happen. It will happen, you know.
Yeah. Over the years, I've noticed that though, especially us as Liverpool fans, when a youngster comes in, we really can have the potential to overhype them. I think a case in point to that is, I don't like this be, you know, it is true, Billy Coutinho. I feel like we've really overhyped him at this stage, like just because he's big, because he's strong.
And that's come a lot from the journalism around Liverpool, you know.
Yeah.
And as I'm speaking as a journalist myself, I admire these journalists, but I will say that they have got it a bit wrong in that situation, like overhyping these kids. I think Coutinho, you know, there's still a long time to go for him. He's only 18, 19. But he's a little bit, you know, he can definitely ping a ball, but it's about the simple things, and I'm not sure he's quite up to that standard yet. We just have to make sure that we keep them all.
But when you're thrusting youngsters into the limelight of Liverpool and the stature of the club we are and how good we are at the moment, it's you know, it's a lot. Like they have to hit it 10 out of 10 straight away, otherwise there's going to be people giving out about them, and there's going to be pressure brought against them. So that's why you have to be really careful with this constant like blooding in the youngsters. Like, you know, Cade Gordon said, yeah, great player, great future, but like you can't just be starting them out of nowhere. You need to wean them in gently, and you have to be careful. It's all about their welfare too. Yeah, that's good.
It's quite a good analogy, actually, to be fair.
Yeah,
and he didn't look comfortable whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true, Walter. He was very bad against Leicester. God love him. that's why he was taken off at half time. Bold decision. I think it was I think we act like Klopp's infallible at or unfallible, whatever the word is. Sometimes like Klopp can really make some questionable decisions because I think he tries to make these outlandish decisions just for to be able to be like, look at that worked out. You know what I mean? Like starting Cometio in that game is crazy, and as your brother said there, or as Walter White said, sorry, he nearly cost us. But he didn't. And yeah, speaking of the League Cup, I really just can't wait to play Arsenal now and hope we can play a relatively strong team and smash them and send them home crying.
Mate, it would be incredible if we just battered them, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just be incredible?
They have been crying on Twitter all week. I think they were dying out for the fact that we might have to forfeit the game, and they were thinking that's like their best chance of getting through. But like, all jokes aside, Arteta has kind of had Klopp's maker since he's been Arsenal manager. He's bet him like he's bet him twice. At least,
yeah, but he did at the start. But in the last couple of games, we've annihilated them. Like
in the league,
4-0 and the 3-0.
Yeah, true. Fair.
Okay. And the 3-1 at home.
Well, I mean, he's had his maker in terms of maybe just more than other managers. He's actually
on penalties. Yeah, he's good.
It was penalties in both games. Yeah.
Penalties in League Cup, penalties in the Community Shield. He did beat us after we'd already won the league and we were still pissed, if you remember that period.
Oh,
that
I
was
remember
funny.
that one, yeah. Jeez, that was so funny. You were so bad in those games, man. But then that hangover kind of carried on to the season after, didn't it? That was a grim. I remember one of the worst times was that 1-0 loss to Fulham. That team we played against Fulham, Neco Williams, Reece fucking Williams, Nat Phillips. Like obviously now,
Neco Williams was our best player in that game. Just gonna put it out there.
Maybe in that game, but overall in that end of season period, he was so shit. But he's really come on leaps and bounds, to be fair to him. Sell him.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed it yesterday, but we'll bring it up to those guys who probably weren't there yesterday. Neco, I think, has impressed a lot when playing actually in right back this year. He plays left back for Wales and sometimes occasionally right wing. We do see Nico Bale come out. But at the end of the day, I just think for him, it would be the best thing to move on. Maybe not for Liverpool, because I think he's very capable. But for Neco Williams' sake, he needs to be first choice centre back at either a very high end championship club who are looking to get promoted and willing to pay 15-20 million for him, or a low end Premier League team. Yeah,
I agree. It's all well and good, like, being a youngster, collecting a paycheck, playing for Liverpool. But at the end of the day, for the sake of their career and their development, they have to go and pursue first team football. I think we forget I know they get paid a lot of money, but I think we forget how short a football career actually is in the grand scheme of things. And you have to be shrewd with your money. You make a lot, but I think the average work life is 65 years. I think it's 66 the retirement age here in Ireland. Probably similar over in England. So you have to watch yourself. You can't just dwindle. So Neco Williams and players like that, he's at the place where he's proved himself enough to justify starting, not for us because he's not good enough, unfortunately for him, but starting for a lower level Premier League team. And I think that's very, very doable. A bit like the Harry Wilson situation. He's an excellent championship footballer. I think a lot of Liverpool fans wanted to see him play, but he had to make a decision for himself and be like, no, I need to go and play football.
I think with Neco, he got very unfortunate in the time that he came through, because if you put him in the Liverpool team, say 2013, 14, 15 time when Glenn Johnson's just coming to an end, I think you find yourself a right back for the next 10 years. But unfortunately, you've got the best right back possibly to ever play the game. Ahead of him.
Yeah, well, he's definitely making claims for that. Yeah, it's all about timing, isn't it? He's just very unfortunate. Trent's around, and people always say, "Oh, push Trent in the midfield." But I think, as Gary Neville said, it's a different game playing in midfield. Playing centre midfield is probably the hardest position playing football. Where Trent has the rub of the green though at right back because he has the whole game in front of him, and that allows him to be such a magnificent, pass through the ball and set piece, all this stuff. Now, I think we can admit Trent still has a bit of defensive frailty, position wise and stuff, but I don't think Neco Williams is going to be a slouch on Trent anytime soon.
No. And I think also you have to mention that the system affords Trent to have that defensive frailty because he's got so much freedom going forward. I mean, we saw it last year. He had a little bit done in going forward because he had to stay back a little bit more because of Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, But towards the end of the season, he was outstanding last season. He's been outstanding this season. We're coming to the last 10 minutes of our stream, and apparently Swindon have scored.
Go on, son.
Go on,
What channel is
Swindon.
that even on?
I don't know actually. Oh, they have scored. Get in. Go on, Swindon.
No,
Hey, they scored in the 78th minute.
Oh, it's 3-1. I thought we could have made it 2-1.
Nah, it's 3-1.
City missed a penalty as well.
Hey, Ball started in the 78th minute. So Swindon might, Swindon Ball.
78? Was it not? What?
Ball, not Istanbul.
Istanbul, yeah, sorry.
That's-
Istanbul. Don't remind. Why you have to remind me of fucking Istanbul? That shit was.
We spoke about Ball yesterday as well, didn't we? Because of all the kits.
Fucking
Oh, mate,
Istanbul.
I can't wait for my kits to turn up, fella. I cannot wait. It's gonna be insane.
I have so much deliveries due. I can't wait to get my green screen, my mic with the Anfield agenda. I tell you, all those like behind the scenes boys, we're going up. We're rising in stock.
The production quality at Anfield Agenda is becoming, rivaling some of the best on YouTube and on Twitch, by the way. And if you aren't already following us on Twitch, you should definitely go and do that. Once Craig is back, I'm sure we'll be doing much more FIFA streams and stuff, which are probably going to be ideal.
Don't forget that as well.
And don't forget that, of course.
WFM20 for 20% off.
WFM20 stands for we are. What are we? That's what we are, Paddy. We are.
Well, I am. Thanks very much for reminding me.
Chris Stonadge, fat shamed Paddy Murphy live on YouTube.
I tell you what, I'm watching Olympique Marseille play Bordeaux. Marseille have a couple of nice little ballers there, man. And some nice stuff.
Oh,
so there you go.
man.
A bit of a segue. French football. Marseille agenda. Interesting.
Marseille agenda. We've gone from Villa agenda to we agenda to fat shaming agenda.
Speaking of Marseille, remember when we played them in the Champions League in 07-08? That Torres goal. And Gerrard's goal. That kit is a banger. We were talking about kits yesterday. That kit we wore in that game is like black with the red middle stripe.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh my god. How did I forget about that kit? Let me Google that right now. I don't know if anyone can get a photo of that. 07-08 Liverpool.
Oh no, I want about 08-09 when we played them.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Gerrard scored that.
No. This kit, man. This is probably one of my favorite ever Liverpool kits.
Send it to me on WhatsApp. I want to see this.
Oh yeah. How do I do that from here? Okay, give me a second. Oh no, let me get. I'm gonna try and get it up on screen for the chat. I think
get it up on screen for the chats.
Yeah, and I'll show you Liverpool 07.
I'll tell you what was also a good one was the 11-12 sash one it was like light blue. And I remember. Do you remember it was like white and light blue? Oh, really nice, beautiful.
This bad boy.
Oh,
remember this bad boy? The focus is a bit peony, but
yeah.
That bad boy. You get the gist of it. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know how to focus on this fucking webcam, piece of shit. Oh, you do this, don't you? With the hand.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go.
Look,
there we go. Chat. Come on, that was probably one of my favorite ever Liverpool kits, man.
That is just magnificent. Let us know your
favorite
Liverpool kits. I mean, we did our dream kits. I think we should do that again at some point. Like the whole Anfield agenda stream.
You should be watching the late. What's in the late, Shane? Who's on that? Oh,
you still got that kit, Fahim?
Oh,
lucky man.
Fahim, that kit is unreal. 4-1 now. If they made one, that's why I'm looking forward to losing weight. When I lose weight, right, I'm gonna buy all Liverpool kits in my size and wear the shit out of them. Because I've had to get. That's the problem with putting on weight, like your old kits. Oh, shout out to that one as well. Right. Same season. I think.
I've actually got I've got Robbie's old version of that.
Yeah, really. Those Carlsberg era kits. There's not a better. Find me a better combination than Carlsberg and Adidas. Honestly, they were unreal.
Magnificent, mate. Magnificent. That the black one with the gold. I think that was 9-10.
Oh yeah, that was 9-10. It wasn't quite black, wasn't it? It was kind of like charcoal.
Mate, I want that kit now. I want it.
We wore that against United at one stage. You put Vidas on his arse.
Yeah. But I think we might have lost that one. I think we might have lost that one.
God, I'm getting nostalgic. That's why I hate Nike. Now, saying that though, my favorite ever Liverpool article of clothing is what I just bought there recently. That Italian 90s style Liverpool jacket. That is
magnificent,
unbelievable. Crown Paints and icon. Yeah, that's true.
That is on the way in the post for me.
Yellow,
I can't
black,
wait.
04. Oh yeah, Reebok.
Yeah. Luis Garcia on the back. That's on the
I'm not a big fan of that one.
Oh, you're not. Oh,
Good call. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Yeah, no, that if you don't have it, lads, I encourage you, buy the Italian 90 Liverpool jacket. It's unbelievable, and it fits like a dream. Get a size lower than you usually would, by the way.
Yeah, to be fair, we did mention this yesterday, Chaos, that the new kit is delightful.
Hopefully more from me. Thank you for laughing. I have a better French accent than him, apparently. Yeah. C'est magnifique. Merci, monsieur. Je suis croissant avec fromage et le putain, c'était ton l'été.
Croissant agenda. Croissant agenda.
Yeah, we've really covered all the bases today. It's unreal.
This is what happens when Craig goes. He leaves the channel in our very uncapable hands.
Craig is just there by the beach praying that the channel is still intact when he gets back. Little does he know it won't be. It's going to be cancelled.
No, we're going to change it. We're going to change it to croissant agenda. And it's what it has to happen, to be fair.
Well, we should have a croissant segment every week.
We should do like a food show. Oh, a food show would be sick. a mukbang on Anfield agenda.
Yeah, I'm down for a mukbang. Always sounds real dirty to me. It sounds like a category on a certain website. You know? Yeah, Jack. That this season's away kit is my favorite Liverpool Nike kit for sure. That is really something. You can't even buy it in Ireland, by the way.
Mate, go on a certain website that I'm not going to pronounce, but it's got two consonants at the start.
I'm not a big. I tell you, I've tried. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what it is about football kits, but I like the real ones. Like they
are the real ones. They steal them.
Oh really?
They steal them from the factories, bro. I've got intel.
Oh Jesus.
I got intel.
Jesus. Illegal agenda.
two continent. Shrewsbury game will not be happening on this channel. We're not going to be doing anything for watch along.
I'll be doing one on Twitch though.
He'll be doing one on Twitch, and there will be one on the LFC Transfer Room YouTube channel.
Oh, cheeky plugs at the bottom as well.
Cheeky plug for the boys. Yeah, LFC Transfer.
Cheeky plug, Mr. Paddy Murphy on Twitch. There'll be no watch along on the agenda, but Liverpool versus Strawberry, you can catch it on Twitch, or of course, LFC Transfer Room.
LFC Transfer Room on YouTube with our main guy Louis, who apparently has his reactions are like he's on death row. Apparently, big up Louis. He's very.
What does that even mean?
Apparently, he's not very excited when we score goals.
Really, I had a problem recently with that where the people who provide my TV have a new service where it's internet based, so therefore I was like 2 or 3 minutes behind everyone. So the chat was spoiling the goals for me, and it ruined. That's why I had to stop watch alongs for about a month. But now we have Sky. We've leveled up. Shout out to Sky, Bosh. So,
no free promo on this. No.
Sorry, shout out to Cloud.
Cloud. But yeah, we will digress. Thank you so much for sticking around for this absolute shit show of a stream. We've properly enjoyed it, and I'm sure it will get back to normal when the Lord is back next week. But I will actually, talking of watch-alongs, I will be doing the Arsenal home watch-along, so that's going to be entertaining to say the least. I will try my best to at least replicate anything that Craig does. I mean, I don't think I could ever do that. So yeah, I 100% agree. We will catch you in the next next show. I don't know whether we're doing anything tomorrow, but we will be back.
I think we're off tomorrow.
We're off tomorrow.
Just to save the channel from bankruptcy.
Yeah, we'll catch you in the next show, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.